And we should be live now. Yeah. Hey, folks. Hey, internet people. Thank you for joining us 5 minutes before the start of episode 8 of Best Left Buried, where we see what's going to happen this time. We're just before we kick off, we just like to chat for a few minutes and allow folks to join. So please hang out while we say not much of anything.
This is the most exclusive content we have. Very few people get to enjoy this. So if you're watching this, know that you are one of the few.
Yeah,
This is before
you were able
costumes
to get.
are on.
Yeah. I was watching a stream where people did costumes the other day, and I both do and don't like costumes, right? Like obviously I think they're awesome, but I also don't like how it is to put on and take off makeup. I always wanted to be a zombie as a kid for Halloween, but then you get the makeup and you're like, oh god, this sucks so hard.
You have to sit still for hours while people transform you.
Yeah, and then taking
that would
it
be
off,
terrible.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard.
That's why when you cosplay, you try to pick someone who actually looks like you or similar to you. I've always wanted to go to Comic-Con, but I haven't.
Me too.
Haven't gone yet.
We should go.
Right.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
meet up at
definitely.
Comic-Con. People in the comments should tell us who they think that we should cosplay.
Yes.
Fun.
I went for several years in a row, but as an artist at a table, so selling posters.
That
I went
really
once
fun.
with the I went once where the special guest was the Star Trek Next Generation cast.
That's awesome.
And
awesome.
Cool.
LeVar Burton liked my stuff.
It's a big deal.
LeVar
It's a
Burton.
pretty big deal.
He was
That is
wonderful.
a huge deal.
He was a wonderful guy. He had a little army of kids around him. They were just like, yeah.
I hope he's as wholesome as he seems, because he sure seems wholesome.
That's
good.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Don't ruin it, please.
No.
No more.
Yeah. I have had the pleasure of working with Jonathan Frakes, who's Riker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy too.
Yeah, my husband's friend named his son Riker.
I have a friend who named his kid Riker.
My best friend, my best friend named his son Riker.
Yeah,
That's
Warren,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
I know a Riker probably at that same age too. Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's a great name.
Yeah, it's a really great name. I
The
love
plot
it.
twist is you all just know the same person.
It's the same
One
person, yeah.
named Riker,
Yeah.
and you just happen to all know this person.
That's canon now for sure.
Let's not tell each other who it is.
Exactly. It's understood that it's the same person.
It's my next character name.
It's a good name.
That's
It's
a pretty
really good.
badass name.
It has to be a dwarf.
It's going to be
I
like
think.
Riker though.
Mhm.
I feel like you're gonna add some more syllables in there.
There's a silent
Leia.
X.
Yeah.
I'm I'll be honest, I'm just excited for how you spell it.
Yeah.
It's different every time. It's a surprise.
It's gonna be hard on me no matter what. I'm gonna be like, where's the R go? Is there a Y? 3 Ys? Not sure.
It's pronounced
help.
cure.
Like it doesn't look like that at all.
No.
Oh my god. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Have fun with it.
Yeah. Oh.
Lovely.
Yeah, my wife goes to BlurredCon in DC. So it's like a black nerd convention specifically.
Blurred.
And,
That's
BlurredCon.
amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
And
Love it.
that's pretty good, honestly. I haven't gone yet to one of these conventions, but I absolutely want to go this summer. I want to go to some of these conventions more generally, right? Because I just want to see and understand it. So I'm still, if y'all are in the comments and you can share conventions to go to that are RPG or comic adjacent, I'm deeply curious, especially if they're on the East Coast. That makes them even more appealing to me.
One of the funniest things I've seen, I wasn't attending it, but right by the courthouses in downtown Baltimore, like 2 streets over at the convention center, was BronyCon. And watching these old lawyers walk out of the courthouse and just look around being like, what is happening right now? Who are these people and what are they wearing was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
was just amazing.
I thought you were
Yep.
gonna say old lawyers like
Going
going
to BronyCon.
to BronyCon.
I think they were, but they
probably were,
had to
yeah.
act confused, and then
Yeah.
they ran around and like put their masks on. I think.
Totally.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but you have to save face.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was an event in Montreal where we took in a mass amount of Syrian refugees and put them up in the same hotel as a furry convention that was going on. So a lot of people, for the first time seeing Canada, were going out into this lobby of this hotel and just seeing tons of what looked like, mascots. And so the kids are like, what? Is this what Canada's like?
Those kids
Yeah.
will never be
The
the
answer
same.
is
Yes,
yes.
it is. It
Yeah,
is.
the answer is yes.
So, like,
Yeah.
similar story. Like, my grandmother, not quite that similar, but my grandmother, like, she was a refugee when she came to Canada, and like she like loved the experience, right? Like she like and Quebec in particular. Like when she got to Canada, I don't remember if she came into British Columbia or if it was Ontario, but she basically had a bad experience, and then eventually got moved over to Quebec, and like Quebec was the first place that she got like a really warm. Well, it's funny because Quebec sometimes gets a bit of a mixed reputation, but like
Yeah.
Quebec has been like historically really awesome as far as like taking in refugees and treating them well. It's
Mhm.
it's one thing that I really like about it. That and like the absolutely mind-blowingly good food.
Yeah,
Two things are likely related.
it's true.
Really good food. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by a wide margin. Like best food city. Montreal's the best food city I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's up there.
All right, well, y'all want to get started?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Okay, well, folks, hello and welcome to episode 8 of Best Left Buried from us, the folks at Heroes Die. Thank you so much for coming. We do this show. We are live with this show every Saturday from 1 to 4 Central Time, which different times in different time zones, but Central Time is the time that we focus on. I am your game master, Jason. It's nice to see you again. Hopefully, well, I don't know. I guess I don't know if you've been here before, if this is your first time, but either way, really excited to have you. And we're going to introduce our awesome cast. Yes, and we're going to start to my left.
I'm Taya. In the game in Best Left Buried, I play Elspeth Pike, or Essie, I think we're level 4 artificer, half elf. She's a lot of fun. Today, excuse me, please check out our Discord. I'll drop a link here in just a second. We put all of our announcements in there. We also have exclusive, like behind the scenes, anything that happens kind of between the episodes. There's a large chat for that. So it's really interesting. Don't miss out on that. And then after I'm done talking, I will be dropping a few chibi arts that I got done of Kit and Essie. They're adorable. They were made by an artist on Twitter named, and I'm sorry if I butcher this, SP Troshes. This artist even told me how to pronounce their name, and I was like, I'll do my best. So they're amazing. I'll drop a Twitter link to anyone who's interested. Please check them out. I've commissioned quite a few chibi arts from them in the past, and I will immediately do so the next time they become open. So please check the artist out, and just join us. We'd love to have you.
Yes.
Awesome.
I did not know, and I still don't really know what chibi art is, but these are very cute. They're adorable. So I'm excited to show them to people. My name is Paula. I play Kit in Best Left Buried. She is a level 4 rogue thief. And today I'm going to talk to you about social media. We have Twitter, we have Instagram, and we have TikTok. And all of those you can find us at Heroes Die Show. And Twitter is kind of like the source of truth. You can find pretty much everything that's going on with the show, the schedule. Josh runs that, and it's great and it's funny. So check out the Twitter. TikTok, I try to post some like little funny clips, videos, special moments from our episodes. So those are fun, and that's our social media. So yeah.
And I am Josh. I'll be playing Zagran Beltune, the Hexblade Warlock, half drow, half orc. And I want to let you know that we have an awesome Patreon. And today, being the first of the month, we actually have a new release coming out today. We have all kinds of things that we make. We're talking about some new ideas. So if you have any ideas for us, put them in the chat. But we try to give out something new every month. We have a micro RPG system, modules that go with that. The most recent release is made by Jason, and it is a contest. It's the contest. My mistake. The contest. It's a two-part series, and part 2 is out today. So if you play D&D or you haven't played, but you think that whatever we're doing on this stream you're watching is fun and you want to give it a shot, it's a great introductory, it's to the point, very, especially if you want to get into DMing. I think it would be a great first time DM module. So it's exclusive to our Patreon. Check it out. We also have, if you subscribe, you'll get a merch discount code. And with that, I'll turn it over to the merch announcement person.
Hey guys, it's Mike. I'll be playing Soleus. I'm not going to spell it, but he's a level 4 drow shadow monk, and having a lot of fun playing him. He's a little death machine. I'm here to talk to you about some merch stuff. If you want to represent the crew, if you like what you see and you want to rep the group, you can go there, sport your Heroes Die mug. Got sweaters, got a hat, a wizard hat. Not what you think. Go check it out. It's on Big Cartel.
It's the only mug that you'll ever need for the rest of your life.
It is. It makes all of your drinks taste just a little bit better. And a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. That was amazing. So I kept my fingers crossed the whole time because I specifically want to know what chibi art is. So quick.
Yeah. What is
chibi art?
Chibi. Oh gosh, you put me on the spot. So I would say it's just like a type of art that's more like cutesy, not necessarily like arms and limbs aren't necessarily.
Is that when like the proportions are a bit off and like the heads are a little
like
big?
Okay,
my daughter loves those. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, she can tomorrow. See, actually, maybe I should just show her immediately, but she will now be able to see the chibi art of her two favorites, Kit and Essie, of course.
They are her favorites, actually.
They've been in the works for a while. I know who she likes the best. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, they're the artist again, amazing to work with. I've actually commissioned them, I think, like 2 or 3 times, or maybe even more now. I love chibi art. So
they're so cute. Very, very cute.
Awesome. Okay, thank you for sharing that. So with that, actually, let's talk about thanks more generally. So we want to say thank you, one, to all of you for watching. We're really grateful. It's a really fun show to do, and it's just really satisfying to have folks like watch and care about the story, and we're very grateful for all of you. More than that, or in addition to that, we want to say thank you to the folks at Tabletop Audio, because we're going to play some music today, and it's fun. And they give it away, and you can just use it in your home games. Tabletopaudio.com. Check it out. I want to say, folks, say thanks to everybody involved in creating like this hobby that we think is, really fucking awesome. And we want to say special thanks to Mike for making all this awesome artwork and our overlays and everything else. And the Heroes Die logos themselves. I think that's super cool. And I want to say thanks to everybody involved in making our really cool intro video. So thanks for that. And I think with that, we're going to go to that said aforementioned awesome intro video, and we'll see you in a second when you come back. All right. Thanks.
Ah, old friend, you're here again. So glad you could stop by. Come, sit a while and let's begin. The tale of Heroes Die. In distant lands are stories made with villains most despised. A tale of magic, strength, and blade, of camaraderie and lies. It's one I know quite well, you see. Perhaps you'll find out why. The legends and the histories remember. Heroes die.
Okay, and with that, we are actually back. Took me a second because I had to press a little button. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get started with episode 8 of Heroes Die Show. So let's kind of do a quick recap of what happened last time. So when last we left our heroes, we had found them in the town of Parfell. Everybody nod if I'm still on track. We'd found them in the town of Parfell. In Parfell, they had previously they're on a caravan going from the Amber Crossroads in kind of the center of the Dwendalian Empire on their way to the town slash city of Eurosa. And they're there with this high slopes caravan, or the high slopes caravan. And they were approaching the town of Parfell when the night before they got there, they saw a fire in Parfell. And it turns out that there had been an attack going on where some drow and some hobgoblins had attacked the town. There was a little bit of tension between some of our party, as some of them are from the Dwendalian Empire and some of them are actually from the Kryn dynasty, and there's a war going on. And and as part of that, there was a little bit of curiosity as to why this, or not curiosity, some tension, because why is this happening? There's a massacre happening in Parfell, and are the drow responsible? Well, it turns out it was the Children of Malice, and it was specifically a bit of a false flag attack where the Children of Malice had killed these folks and were making it look like it was the Kryn dynasty that had done it, right? The party, we started last episode with the party in town in Parfell deciding what they were going to do with the body of this drow soldier, this Aurora Watch soldier who had been left there to make it look like it was the dynasty that had done it. Then they found they were being watched. They found some treasure in the basement of the old temple, which is kind of neat, including a really fancy jeweled and precious metal statue of Tiamat, the bad dragon god. And yeah, gone through and they decided to figure out who was watching them and do something about it. There was some tension, but they were able to ambush these watchers, these drow Children of Malice, drow and hobgoblin Children of Malice patrol that was out there to, maybe kill or capture them. After that, they were able to gather some information and some interesting clues, including that the drow had a map that looks like it was produced in the Empire. It looks like it was produced in the Empire, and that Essie was familiar with the publishing house that had made the map. They also, what else did they find? I don't remember what else y'all found that was interesting. You found spy glasses and some things like that, but I thought there were some more clues, but I may have missed it, and y'all can refresh me after I'm done. And it had wrapped with y'all returning to the caravan and hiding the bodies of the drow that you had out in the woods, leaving the bodies of the hobgoblins at the ambush site, and taking your caravan, or continuing on with your caravan towards Eurosa. Does that sound about right to all of you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That ended that night. We ended the show that night, and we're coming back to 3 days later. You've now been traveling for 3 days, so make sure to take a long rest on your characters if you haven't done that yet. And we're gonna return at that point, and then we're going to go from there. Was there anything important that y'all think I missed?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we showed our faces.
Yes, we
Oh, that's
identified
right.
ourselves, revealed that we were drow, and gave our real names to Essie and Kit.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so that's the other thing is Zagrin and Seleus have been traveling under pseudonyms. We had Dalen and Dennis. Dalen and Dennis, and they finally
It's-
decide to confess their real names to Essie and Kit. I'm sorry.
It's D&D. Dalen
It's
and
D&D.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was obviously deliberate.
Totally planned.
Totally planned. Yeah. In between the sessions, right? We had a little bit of stuff in the between the session stuff. So speaking of which, if you haven't joined our Discord, there's a little bit there about what happened. But we've noticed some things on the road. So we find ourselves, or we start this episode, and let me put on a little bit of music. But we find ourselves with y'all on the road. It is now 28 Thunshire, and the weather's actually pretty nice and sunny early morning, or not early morning, sorry, like about 10 in the morning ish. And you are riding and going with the wagons, and it's been a fairly decent trip the last couple days. And with that, why don't y'all tell me where you are and what you're up to?
I think that Essie would probably be scouting around. She's on Freya. Again, she's definitely scouting out. Maybe she'll get ahead of the caravan for a little bit, and then she'll like loop back around and just keeping a close eye on the surroundings. Make sure that they don't get ambushed.
Great. Anybody else?
I think
Go on.
Zagran's been a little bit homesick. He doesn't like travel outside of the dynasty ever. Even in past lives, he's always been within 100 miles of one of these beacons. So he's feeling homesick, and I think, especially after revealing his identity, is feeling very out of place. So I think that the normally boisterous and attention-seeking almost Zagran has been a little bit more forlorn and not too. He's putting on his happy face when he needs to, but it's definitely a little bit different.
Soleus would be staying close to Zagran and probably clocking this as well. Just like, ah, shit.
Kit is definitely on edge. She has been noticing this very strange black crow following her, it seems, with very strange twisted features, and it reminds her of home in the worst kind of way. Thinking of her little crows back at home, but also just really unsure of what it is that's following her. And yeah, so she's kind of freaked out.
Has she been acting any differently the last couple days, or keeping it together?
She tries to put on like a strong front most of the time, and I think that she has just been a little bit subdued in general on this entire trip. But if you know her, which Essie knows her a little bit more than, anyone else on this trip, I think that Essie would probably notice that there's a little bit something off.
I think eventually Essie would. Is she riding Bryn, or is she walking on the caravan?
For a little context, you have the wagons. So I believe there was 8 wagons, which some of them have room for folks to ride on. There is y'all on your horses, right, including a couple spares. There's also a big train of cattle. So you have a number of folks that ride kind of drag or watch the cattle, and a couple of them are riding drag at the back to make sure cattle are going. Drag sucks because like you're eating everybody's dust.
So much
right?
dirt.
Yeah. Everybody's dust. So y'all can be anywhere you like, but there are horses if everybody wants to ride.
I think she'd ride up by Kit and just kind of ride beside her for a little bit and just kind of like look around, and she'll say, "You holding up all right? It's been a rough couple days."
Hi, it has been. I'm still not quite sure if I'm in the clear.
Well, we haven't bumped into anybody that recognized you or came after you. I think we're probably all right. Don't you think?
I don't know. I've got this, like, really strange feeling that something's watching me.
Something like an invisible something coming after you? Or a person?
Kit will just kind of look up in the trees, or if there are trees. Are there trees around? Okay. Yeah, she'll just kind of look up in the trees, and it's gonna sound a bit odd, but there's like this bird that I don't know. Never mind.
Could you roll me a perception check real quick, kid?
Sorry, I should have this memorized. It's 11.
Okay. You don't notice
I
anything.
hope. So, Essie's gonna just pause for a moment. But then she's just gonna look up at the trees by Kit as well, and she's just gonna say, after what we've been seeing for the last couple days, I don't think a bird is necessarily out of the realm of possibilities following you. But, how do you know it's the same one? There's a lot of birds around here.
As you say that, Yantha sweeps overhead for both of you, curls around, and lands on your horse.
I love her.
Hello, Yant. I'll just reach into my bag and pull out a little bit of rations and open palm.
Yeah,
Give it
she
to her.
squeals with pleasure, or chirps a little bit with pleasure, and begins eating them. And you can hear her purring as she eats.
She's purring. What kind of emotion is she emanating?
Yeah, she's very content. A little excitement too, like content and excitement.
I love it. Oh, I don't know. It's probably nothing. Probably being a bit paranoid, but if you see a
Well?
black bird that looks not quite right, let me know.
You got that spyglass that I gave you before still, right?
I do.
And she'll just kind of look at the tree line for a minute, and then she'll say, as far as what you're feeling, my mother always said that if you've got a instinct, if you've got a gut feeling, chances are that whatever you're feeling is something you better watch out for. Because logic, well, our brains can get all tangled up sometimes in the knowledge and things that we know, but our gut, it's good to follow it.
That's sound advice. The
Well-
streets of Zadash, that's really all you can go off of, is your gut.
My dad would argue that logic always wins out, but it was quite an argument between the two of them growing up. However, I think I'm with my mother on this one. Gut feelings are going to save your life. You should follow it. So never feel silly if you got a feeling.
Kit's just gonna look at Essie for a minute. How are you doing?
I'm fine. It's pretty normal for me to be on the road. It was an unfortunate thing back there in Parville.
Aye, it was. Never seen anything like that.
Massacre is never something that's hard to swallow. A lot of lives were lost back there.
What do you make of... She's gonna look around for a sec to see if the other two are close by, but... What do you make of our two friends?
Honestly, initially I was pretty suspicious of them, but I think lately they've been coming clean on a lot of things, and that takes a lot of guts considering they're knee deep in the Empire, a long ways from home. I feel like we can trust them, but I also feel like just not getting too comfortable. There might be people that seem real trustworthy, and they still might stab you in the back if there's an opportunity. So I think for now they've proven themselves at least ones that don't run from a fight, so they'd have our backs. But well, if it's us versus a dynasty soldier, I think we know who'd win out in the end. How about yourself?
I don't know about that tall one.
Dalen / Zagrin?
Aye, that one.
Why? What you feeling? What you thinking?
Don't know. He's got that air about him that's like an important,
Something tells me that back home he might be pretty important.
As y'all are talking, Calamity rides up. Calamity rides up on a little pony.
I'll acknowledge her.
Essie, Kit, how we doing?
Calamity. I figured you might be coming up on Yantha's heels. I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Yeah, doing good. Stepping out of Calamity for a second, have y'all talked to Calamity about Zagrin and Slayus, or is she still under the impression they're Dalen and
And Dennis.
got
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Well, I'll admit I fed Yantha some treats. I'm sorry. I should have asked first.
She smiles and she goes, it's all right. She loves it.
Yeah. She might gain some weight if she sticks around us for a while.
Well, she gets lots of exercise. She'll be all right, won't you, Yantha? And Yantha crawls over to her and is ecstatic, right? As she crawls onto Calamity's shoulders. It's doing that cat thing, where they rubs her head against her and stuff.
That's a well-trained companion you've got there. She really helped us out quite a bit in the last couple days.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's not trained. We're friends. She's my partner. Aren't you, Yantha? Oh, yes.
She'll look at Kit and she'll say, Feathers and what? What should their code name be?
Oh, that's...
Feathers and Fancy? Feathers and Fireballs.
Oh, you're really good at that.
Yeah, aren't I? I'm real good. Maybe I should add that to my professional list of things that I can do. Archaeology, I can do interpretations, I can do... There's naming stuff. I can add that to the business card.
You've got business cards.
Of course. Well, it's mostly the Pike family. I don't necessarily have my own yet. It's more of the family business module, But I think maybe now that we're on the road, instead of just saying the Pike family, I should cross that out and just say Elspeth Pike.
Why not?
I guess I'm going out on my own. I might as well.
You're quite skilled.
Don't I know it? but thanks. I'm sorry. I get compliments a lot, so I don't really know how to deal with them anymore. You know.
You're doing fine.
And about our friend Dalen, I was surprised at how he helped us out in combat. Honestly, truthfully, I thought he was just going to be a dandy for a while, but turns out there's more bite and less bark than I thought.
Calamity goes, yeah, he's tough. Those blasts, and geez, Dennis with that speed.
He was a monster in battle. I think I might still be able to take him, but it'd be a tough fight.
He's fast. I wouldn't want to cross him.
He's fast.
We're gonna actually fade out of the scene real quick and fade in on Zagrin and Seleus. What are y'all up to at this point?
I think Seleus would trot up next to Zagrin and hand out a water skin to him.
Yeah, I accept and drink some water.
Her light is strong today.
It is, and I don't know if it's the exposure to the sun for such a long time or just being this far away from the dynasty, but it certainly does seem brighter.
Yes. You need to realize that this is all planned. The Luxon has a plan for everything. You are on the right path, I assure you.
And I do feel that. It's just so different than my normal day-to-day. What I wouldn't be giving is to listen to the squabbles of the den decide which roads needed building and what we should do about the sanitation in the prisons. Like, those were the issues that I thought were so important, and now I know that there's something so much more grand out there, but it's discomforting in many ways, if I'm being honest with you.
I worry that you might be back there one day, dealing with the mundane. Until then.
I must admit that the first several days were, with the excitement, I didn't have time to reflect. It's only after these past couple days of pure travel that it's really set in where I am and what's going on, but I know that one day I'll be where my destination is, even if I don't know where that is just yet.
Let's hope you make it there.
May we always head towards the light.
As you. Take a big swig of water.
Can I get a perception check from one of you two?
I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Nice. Yeah, don't really notice much. Y'all have your own stuff that you got going.
Yeah, Zagrin's in his head. He's not perceiving too much of his surroundings.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, and Seleus is basically squinting.
Yeah.
Bloody
Yeah, it's
sun.
real bright. All right, we can flip back over to Essie and Kit.
Well, Calamity, how are you doing in all this? It's been a rough couple days.
You know, I'm okay. I'll be honest. That wasn't, what happened to Parfel was rough, but if I'm being honest, I still feel much more relieved than anything. Not about Parfel. I've been planning this and I've been worried about it for a really long time, and having people to go with on this trip means a lot. Having somebody to watch your back is it's just
Makes
really
a big
nice.
difference. Yeah, I agree.
And
I
I'll
agree.
be honest, it doesn't hurt to see that y'all can fight too.
Yeah, we're more than pretty faces. Although we're that too. so
Of course.
don't count that out. She'll just kind of laugh.
Couldn't miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well.
but Yantha's happy. I'm pretty happy.
Kit will be a little bit quiet and kind of wait for Calamity to move along. And if she does,
Yeah, she will
then okay,
eventually.
then she'll just wait until she's, a distance away, and she'll look back at Essie and say, "So what's going on with you and that, like, black stuff?"
She'll look around her, see if is anyone watching them closely.
Not particularly. That being said, like, you're not out of sight of Zagrin and Seleus, right? Although they do look like they're preoccupied with their own stuff. Calamity's gone up ahead. She's left Yantha behind with you folks, and it's just hanging out.
Essie's gonna again touch the back of her neck, and almost like she doesn't know she's doing it, and she'll just look away for a moment. Honestly, I don't really know what's fully going on. But,
I just realized what's going on here. I'm so dense. When Kit realizes what's happening here, she will, I would imagine that retroactively that Essie and Kit probably have some sort of signal that they use for, like, I don't know, to get each other's attention. But whatever it is, she will, I don't know, let's just say it's like a bird whistle or something.
Okay, yeah.
And she's gonna dog
Dog
spark.
spark.
That's the signal. I forgot. That's canon. That's the signal. Yeah, I think I did say that it was like a bird whistle. Yeah, she will just kind of do it softly and make eye contact with Essie and just kind of narrow her eyes and not say anything, but she's looking like at you very intently.
Is Yantha still with us, or did Yantha go with Calamity?
She's still with us.
She is, yeah. So she's hanging out. She's hanging out now in front of you in the saddle, and she's just kind of curled up and sunning herself.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
I loved her so
you still
much.
do. You still do.
No, I feel betrayed.
So Essie's gonna acknowledge the signal, but she's still she doesn't awkwardly stop or anything. She just kind of goes understanding, kind of giving an understanding nod, and just says, I don't really know. I think it's just hard. Honestly, I've never really been away from my family, and it's just real challenging sometimes to be with people we don't know for so long. She'll say and widen her eyes a little bit.
I feel the same. I miss my home.
Yeah. And Essie will accidentally she'll maybe tighten the rein a little bit, and Freya will stumble, and then she'll just nudge Yantha, almost like it was a startled I'm sorry, Yantha.
So very similar to having a cat on your lap, right? That's relaxing. The moment you disturb her, she is up, looks at you indignantly, and flies off. And there is, you
I'm
can definitely
sorry.
feel a little bit of outrage when you bump her, right? Like
I'm
it like
sorry,
radiates off
Samantha.
her.
Just like with cats.
Yeah. Then she'll lower her voice and switch to Elvish as they walk. And she'll say, I don't want to say too much, and I don't even know if there's any sort of connection to anything that's going on here, but I've had this spot, and she'll just like, her hair is again up in this like really high ponytail, and she'll just kind of like brush her hair to the side, and like coalescing on the back of Essie's neck is like this black spot almost. I got it a while ago. It never did anything to me. It just was there. But my dad started acting real weird, and I just thought I might need some answers. But it's been spreading. I mean, it's fine now, I think. How big is it?
How big is it?
It's just like a little spot like that big on the back of her neck.
It's not very big, but does it hurt?
No, it just kind of feels cold sometimes. I'll be honest, when we were on the road and you were telling me about the thing coming after you, and then we found those vials that, synthesized or condensed down devil or demon blood, I thought maybe there was some connection, and that's why I was trying to piece it all together and figure out what might be going on, but I don't think it's connected. It's just like it moves sometimes around me, like when it became that claw that I could kind of do now, and then when that guy slashed me, it didn't hurt as much. It's probably nothing.
I don't think it's nothing. It's quite serious. It made you invisible, didn't it?
Well, yeah, but that really helped us out. I mean, everything that it's done has helped, so maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but it hasn't harmed me yet, and it's helped me out in a lot of different ways. So I've just kind of been leaving it alone.
What's your gut say?
My gut says that, like everything, it's a mystery that I want to solve, and but I don't think it's necessarily there to hurt me. I don't really know.
Let's keep an eye on it.
Maybe we should take some ink and take it around, and then we'll know if it spreads.
Circle around it, like.
Yeah, then we know if it spreads.
Okay, can do that.
Maybe somewhere like tonight when we're in our tent. There's
Good
just
idea.
a lot of eyes around.
Aye.
And this bird, you whistle if you see it.
I will.
All right.
Right. And with that, we'll roll forward. So the rest of your day passes. Let's see. Give me one sec. Uneventfully. The rest of your day passes uneventfully, and you go to make camp. To be clear for everybody, right? Like Yantha does at times come down and hang out with you, and she's doing this all over the caravan. She is a very social creature, right? And like plays with the kids, hangs out with folks, and absolutely spends a lot of time, particularly around you, Kit, and Essie. See if you're feeding her treats and petting her and stuff.
Interesting.
I can't believe I didn't notice that until now. Gosh.
You're letting your paranoia get the best of you. I don't even know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Honestly, when Paula was so like, I know what's going on, I'm like, is Jason messaging her behind the scenes? Like, what is going on
No,
here?
it
I'm
just-
so
It
lost.
just dawned on me, and I felt so betrayed.
We don't even know, and we're just like, betrayal.
It's a healthy distrust.
It's a healthy distrust, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, so that evening you make camp. The day's been fairly uneventful. You know, Kit towards evening time as y'all are getting ready and looking for a campsite. You do see at that campsite, you do see a sorry, give me just one sec. You do see a bird, or actually a group of birds that look like they're there. So you find a campsite that is, laid out. It's a nice, clear campground. It's clearly been used for this before. And there's a big tree. There's a big tree off to the side a little bit, and otherwise it's kind of barren plains around. There's some trees, but there's not a ton. And there's probably 8 to 10 crows or ravens up there in the tree. And there is, like, you do notice on one of the lower branches a little raven, like, watching you very actively.
It's a murder of crows. Okay, so when I see that, I will give the signal to Essie, and I will be like watching it.
Yeah, it does not look like that bird that you've noticed, right? Like, that bird, it looked like a crow, so a little bit larger, and
Okay.
again looks a little bit deformed. So it looked off, right? This actually looks like, as far as ravens go, this looks like, peak friggin' raven. Like, it looks healthy, it looks well groomed, and
You think we need a little extra for dinner?
I don't know. That's looking at me, I think, but it's not the same one. I think I'm just seeing
No.
shadows.
No, you trust your gut on this. Oh, you want to try to catch it?
How far away is it? Oh, I think you're muted, Jason.
20 feet.
20 feet.
It's up in the
Oh.
branches, so it's probably 10, 15 feet up, 20 feet away. Folks that are watching, we're not going to calculate the whatever it is, hypotenuse, whatever that is, because that's not the way.
That doesn't exist.
That's not the way math works in D&D, which is nice.
Yeah, that's not very D&D, so
Nope.
let's not.
Just horse facts.
Take that, nerds.
Yeah.
I might be able to replicate what I did in Parfell. Sneak up on it if you want me to try to catch it.
I don't want to kill it, but
Well,
maybe
I can try to catch it without hurting it.
Okay, let's try.
All right. Do you want to keep its attention on you, or do you want? How do you want to do this? She'll have been speaking. I'm just going to assume that when they're together now, they're talking in Elvish.
Okay, yeah. I'll keep looking.
All right.
Maybe it will be focused on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a roundabout way though, and she's gonna walk off. Like, she's not gonna like turn invisible there and start walking towards it. She's gonna like wander off, and then she's just gonna.
You could go into a wagon or go behind a wagon or something. Very
Yeah,
easily.
she's gonna find somewhere very much where nobody is around and watching her, and she'll just try to focus because she doesn't know how she did this, and she'll just say, "Whatever you are, I could really use your help right about now."
Yeah, you feel the cold radiate out from the back of your neck and seep through your bones. And as you're feeling this supernatural cold radiate through you, you open your eyes and look at your hands, and they are gone once again.
It might never become normal to me. All right. I will tiptoe as quietly as possible towards this tree.
Yeah, roll
I'm
me a
gonna-
stealth check.
I'm gonna have given myself guidance before I did this, before I became invisible. Stealth check. All right.
Now remember, you roll your stealth checks with advantage.
$20 total.
Right?
Nice.
So you begin sneaking up, and you get to the base of the tree. So it's probably 4-foot diameter tree, so it's fairly thick. And again, the branch that it's on is a heavy one. It's about 15 feet up. There are some lower branches, but it's going to be hard to get up.
I'm
One thing-
just gonna do it.
One
I'm
thing
gonna
you
try to
think,
climb
Essie,
it.
as you're walking up, or actually roll me a perception as you're walking up.
Oh, terrible. 9.
Yeah, you don't notice anything in particular.
All right. I'll start trying to climb the tree.
All right, yeah. So you've been trying to climb the tree. Kit, because you're watching, you can see some of the branches like bend a little bit as she gets up.
I haven't been
And,
eating that
yeah,
much around
the,
the campfire.
You see the raven that you're watching. You see it turn its head and look over at the branches, and then turn and look back towards you.
I pause completely if I notice it watching me, and then I'll start to try to climb again.
Yeah. You get up to the branch that it's on, and you see the thing. As you get it, you look at it, and the thing turns, and Essie, like, it looks like it's looking you right in the eyes, and it caws at you.
I try to catch it.
So it's a good ways away. So you're gonna have to leap at it.
Oh. Okay, I'll do it.
Leap
gonna leap
at
at
it. Leap
Yeah, I'm
at
gonna
it.
leap at it.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. So let's do an athletics check, please.
Can I do acrobatics instead? Can I? If I
Yes.
do some swinging
Yes.
and I'm gonna use my
Listen,
inspiration
we're
on this.
gonna let you do an acrobatics.
I'm gonna use my inspiration. I had said that. Thank
She flies through the air with the greatest of ease.
goodness on that. That's a 16 total.
16. So you leap and you get just within range, and the thing starts to take off. So let's do this. We'll do a quick initiative, and we'll see which of you gets to move first. Okay?
All right. I rolled a 17.
Okay. You can try and grab it.
I just try to as I'm gonna go all out. I cast feather fall, like a reaction feather fall, and then I just snag it out of the air, or I try.
Yeah, so you leap across, you grab it. You see Kit, you see Essie like pop into existence, like flying, grabbing this bird, and beginning to fall somewhat gently down.
I full on like it was complete like swan dive out into it, and then I'm just gonna like tuck it in and be like, as like
Yeah, so you tuck it in like deep into your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. As
But
you're floating down,
Really.
like
Would this
you
be
just-
noticeable to any of us as well at this point?
I would say almost certainly. It would probably be hard not to notice.
Yeah.
She'll have
Essie-
been like, gotcha.
Essie, as you're holding it, you feel whatever you're holding just like your hands just kind of go flat against your chest, and there's just like a little wisps of black gray smoke where you were holding
Oh
the thing.
my. And in that moment of shock, she will drop concentration on Featherfall. She'll be like, oh my god! And then she just falls onto the ground.
The rest of the distance, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Oh, she'll get up. See if anybody other than Kit noticed that.
Kit's like running over the however many feet, 10, 15 feet. And she's like
Yeah.
looking all around. You,
All right.
what happened?
I caught it. It disappeared.
You had it.
Into like thin air. I had it. It was there.
Disappeared?
It just disappeared into like thin wisps.
But like it's gone, not like just invisible. It's just gone.
Just gone. Yeah, just gone. Did anyone see that fall? Also, by the way, that wasn't my best moment.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, good.
What
You're
do you
right.
make
More
of that,
pressing.
Zagrin is barreled over with laughter and says, "You know, I believe that might have been just what I needed this evening. I'm not exactly sure why they're falling out of trees, but I don't know that this war will last long if this is the Empire's best." And just goes back to laughing.
Oh
Thank
my
you,
God.
What a jerk! Essie will like brush some sticks out of here, and she'll be like, "You're right. You're right. There's more pressing matters to attend to. Like that bird disappeared."
Again, you were left with like a little bit of like gray black smoke, right?
Yeah.
Where it
Is
was.
it fully dissipated now, or is there
It
still like a bit?
It begins to dissipate, but yeah, there's still a little
I can
hanging
see
in the
it,
air.
okay.
Yeah.
Is
Have you
there
ever
any
seen
kind
anything
of
that
like
before?
smell or feeling or like anything other than just what's visible?
It doesn't seem to let off any kind of smell at all. Actually,
Okay.
you didn't smell anything.
That's good because I have bathed regularly. I promise. Stop smelling. I don't know what you're smelling, but it cannot be me. I took a bath in the creek earlier.
No, you're fine. She's gonna all of a sudden like look around. So it was watching me.
Yeah, big time.
Was that really even a bird? Was that
So
something magic?
I think it might. Have you pissed off any wizards lately?
No, I don't think so. I don't even know any wizards.
All right, because I know wizards can like. They have familiars, right? They can take shape of creatures, and
Right.
what that means. And she'll suddenly like reach a hand back for happy ending. They might be close. I don't know if they can communicate past a certain range.
Oh, I don't have a good feeling about this.
Yeah, me either. That makes two of us. You sure you haven't had any dealings with any wizards? Or I hate to even say this. You think a wizard got contracted by somebody to hunt you down?
But why? I'm
A
no
bounty
one.
hunter?
I'm literally no one. I live
I-
on the streets.
You don't know where you came from. You might be someone real important from where you come from.
Who would
It's
even
not-
know who I am? Like,
Well, there's ways of finding out beyond just your appearance. You don't remember anything other than the streets of Zadash?
DM? Nothing? Okay. No.
All right. I think
So your first memories, Kit, were in the orphanage, right, where you
Right.
grew up, right, up until you had to leave.
And I don't remember pissing off any wizards. Okay.
other than
whatever.
Jasmine, that was all
Right.
me.
Yeah, I wasn't even there, so.
All right. I think you might want to stick to the wagons undercover from here on out as we travel, or I can try to disguise you a little bit,
We could
make
do
you
that again.
bulbous nose again. You know,
Sure. But
I'm sure somebody around here has a wig. These folks feel like wig type of people.
wig people, yeah.
Give off that carny vibe a little bit.
Ouch, but also true.
I don't know though, because if we start doing that, it might seem suspicious? Like,
We're in a
all of a
caravan
sudden
full of folks that
trying
they
to
have
change
they
my
have
appearance?
they have spots to hide that people can't find them. I think they're gonna be fine if you start wearing a wig. Just go. I'm just gonna say, you say Dennis and Dalen had these weird ass masks for the last week, and nobody said anything about that. I think
That's
maybe
fair.
maybe we should go take a mask from them.
Okay, I'll think about it, but I'm just gonna keep a lookout for now.
Yeah, I'll start shooting down any suspicious ravens I find.
I don't
Well,
do that.
Yeah, so the tree, like a bunch of the crows or ravens that were in it, or in fact, now that you're looking at it, all ravens, did fly away when you did that little jump.
It was a stellar jump. It wasn't a little jump.
I'm sorry,
It was
you did
very
that
impressive.
magnificent
Exactly.
leap and catch, right?
Anything.
Feat of acrobatics.
Anything that
it was
Elspeth Pike
really good.
does is top notch. All right, let's just be clear about that.
Uh,
Even my falling with style landed not so much, but
I'm so sorry that I didn't offer the appropriate
Essie is deeply
enthusiasm.
offended right now.
effusive praise for that.
Exactly.
I feel terrible.
Good, you should. Absolutely. Anyway.
Got it.
So other than, just to clarify, other than the crow that I noticed previously, which is different than this raven, correct?
Correct.
Have I felt any of the same kinds of or similar feelings of being followed, being watched, like the cold feeling that I felt in Zadash?
No. Yeah, that particular thing hasn't come up again.
Okay.
That hasn't come up again, no.
Okay.
That being said, of course, you do remember earlier on when you were first leaving Zadash, that group of folks that came after you had your picture as a
Right.
drawing.
Right. Yep, I do. Okay.
Just don't want you to forget how horrible this is. Just keep it that.
It's terrible and it's wonderful. I love it. Okay, so I will just put up my hood and from the cloak that Essie gave me, and just kind of like try to stay close to the caravan, close to like the wagons and stuff, and not stray too far away. And I'm definitely like watching the trees in
Yeah.
the woods.
Okay. So you'll set up camp. Folks, again, there's a watch set, and we're able to pass the night relatively uneventfully. The next couple days of travel are gonna kind of flow in flexible time. So again, we're starting here on the 28th of Thunshire, and y'all are going to be on the road. You don't have any other planned stops, right? You don't have any other planned stops until Eurosa at this point. Okay. So
Okay.
we'll resume. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Hey,
just
Maven. Okay.
saying. Okay. Acknowledged.
Acknowledged.
Standing by.
Do you want to be on the lookout for
Oh, absolutely.
Now, so I want to be clear. Y'all have a fair number of resources, including if you do choose to include Calamity. Calamity does have a flying little dragon that can be on the lookout for things like your weird crow. I'm not telling you what to share with her or not.
I think we're keeping this close to the
Got
chest.
it. Yes.
Real close. All right.
Are
I will,
you sharing with
however-
Zagrin and Slayas? I'm sorry.
God, no. I should say, God's no. Absolutely not.
Got it.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Especially since Zagrin laughed at me. The trust is broken now. There was quite a bit of trust. Now it's just shattered. No, I will. I will tell Brave Lad. I'll just say I'm trying to get some target practicing. I felt a little rusty on my long-range firearm capabilities, so if you just let folks know I might be target practicing if I see any birds, pigeons, or ravens or the like. I might just be practicing my long-distance shooting. If you hear anything, don't be
Yes.
alarmed.
Of course.
And I'll proceed to shoot
will.
down at every raven. Oh, sorry. Sorry. about
Every
that.
raven, like you're gonna, because there's gonna be a bunch. So you're just gonna
Yeah.
like you got
No, Kit is going to oppose this very strongly.
Okay,
not-
something's up with her now.
Do not kill every
Not okay.
bird
Not
you
every
see.
bird, but if there's a bird that looks suspicious, sus birds are being
It's looking
shot.
at me.
Exactly.
No,
As soon as
no.
those beady little eyeballs look in Kit's direction, it's lights out.
The ravings of a
Literally.
mad woman.
She's like,
okay. So let's see. On the fourth day of travel, you do notice. So that makes it. Sorry, I'm just dates here in my brain. So.
and while I'm practicing, it's going to be a duel. She is actually practicing, but what she's practicing is her quick draw with lights out from her hip and accuracy as she's shooting these ravens. And if she actually kills a legitimate raven, she would probably like defeather it, pluck it. and
If you're
take it
really
to
going to shoot
rest.
at every raven or crow, like there are a bunch. So you will absolutely have a chance to kill some over the next 4 days.
Not every raven,
It
but
will
yeah.
definitely try to stop you from doing it. Like, she will try to talk you out of it, for sure.
You will run out of ammo.
Yeah.
No, I've got a magical weapon. It's magic
Oh, nice.
bullets.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
be like,
So
Kit, really, don't you even worry about it. I got this under control.
Don't.
see, how many birds do you plan on killing?
Oh my
At
god.
Given the
least,
opportunity.
at least 20.
Oh my god.
Just the ones that look at her.
Just the ones that look at Kit, yeah.
No, Kit is gonna be racked with so much guilt.
Yeah, every day you get a
I'm
chance to shoot at
helping.
one or
I'm-
two,
I'm helping
like
with
for sure.
I'm helping with the rations. Don't you even worry
Oh
about
my
it.
god. They do not
Raven
taste good.
is a delicacy, I've heard.
That's why there's this saying that about eating crow. It's not good.
That's why I'm shooting ravens.
They're
not
not
crows.
Well,
tasty.
there's- Yeah. Okay.
Same
Great.
family.
Yeah.
You need feathers for the crossbow bolts.
Oh my god.
Corals.
So, guys, as
Please
y'all are
create a
traveling over the next
monster.
4 days, Essie is periodically, once or twice a day, just shooting at birds as you go.
Be like,
Zagrin hears the first one go off. He's really alarmed and looking around, and then as it keeps going on, he will look to Soleil and say, "I'm not sure it's the best use of our time, but I know I feel more secure from the birds," and just kind of shake his head.
got
Certainly
another one.
doing their part to keep the caravan safe, wouldn't you agree?
I believe paranoia doesn't suit that one well.
Not a good look, and especially after the graceful descent. At first I thought maybe she was trying to become one of them. Now I realize that she was trying to know thy enemy.
Yes. But perhaps she was picking acorns, or I don't know.
Certainly the squirrely type.
Should we say something?
Oh, I have no desire to speak with them, especially if they become unhinged, knowing our secret. I believe that puts us in quite a predicament, that the more occupied they are, perhaps the safer we are.
They sure do take the spotlight off of us.
Indeed.
At some point during the travels, I think Kit would try to maybe sneak up on Dennis and
Yeah, good luck. I'm gonna roll for that. Is it during the day or during the evening? Because there's a big difference.
I would say she's just kind of casually, not like really trying to be super stealthy, but just casually like walking up and seeing how long it takes him to notice her standing there. And then when he does notice, she'll just look around first, like to make sure they're alone. And then
Kit. There you are.
Dennis. You know that little familiar of Calamity's?
I do. I don't let it get near me.
That's good. I was going to say, it probably isn't wise to speak freely around it. You may already know that, but just wanted to say I think it's being used potentially. So
As a spy.
maybe. I don't know, but I know you have some secrets.
Do I sense nervousness from you?
Yeah, a bit uneasy. I don't really know what it is, but I just don't really feel quite safe on the road.
My
Stay sharp.
master once told me that the darkness protects all. Perhaps another lesson in hiding would ease your mind.
All right. Always happy to learn more.
Yeah. So can I just attempt to give her some pointers in skulkery?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
It begins to make sense, Kit, as you practice with Seleus, and Seleus has a affinity for the darkness that is, a level beyond what you've seen in anyone sneaky, right? Like Seleus clearly has, this is someone that seems to, have been born to it and then have spent hundreds of years refining their practice of not being seen well in the dark, and he has lots of useful things to teach you. You think with regular practice, like you could definitely get some real value out of what Slayus is teaching you. So it seems like a fruitful exercise.
Cool.
Nice.
When Kit returns, are they going to do anything else?
No, I don't think so.
When Kit
It was
returns,
a pleasure.
she just finds Essie tinkering with a bunch of stuff, and she's got like raven feathers all around her, and she's going to say, I think I'm going to work on a device that just helps me to pinpoint location on ravens and crows. With enough essence and blood, I might be able to come up with something.
Essie, please.
What?
Please stop. I don't.
Why?
She's gonna look down at her like little watch fob that has the little carved crow on it. It's morbid. They're just birds. I don't want you killing them on my behalf. I feel guilty.
Essie's gonna all of her magnifying lenses were down, and she's just gonna all of them up, so it's just her normal glasses. And she'll say, well, to be honest, I'm bored of tears, so I kind of need some sort of project, So this was something that I just thought might pass the time, and I truly did want to work on my accuracy with my firearms. I used to, down in the basement level at home, I had a shooting range. I used to do that with my father all the time. And I don't do that anymore. So, and also I'm bored to tears. There's not much to do on a caravan.
Maybe you could do something that's like non-lethal, like stunning or something.
Well, it wouldn't be a device that kills the ravens. It would just be a device that tells me where they're located, like a homing device. You know, like any ravens around, just like pings. You know, but I'll figure something else out. If that's distressing, I don't want to distress you.
Just don't hurt them anymore, please.
All right, I've killed enough. The kids like the feathers, though.
All right. Well, thank you for looking out for me. I do appreciate it.
Of course, of course. You got any other projects you want me to work on? Anything I
So-
can enhance?
Quick aside, 1, everybody take an inspiration if you don't have it, because y'all are doing amazing. 2, you have noticed, Essie, since you started shooting random birds, Yantha has avoided you, for sure.
I guess
Killing
one
2 birds
benefit.
with 1 stone, literally.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Well
Perfect.
done.
Quick question, because this has been on my mind like since Calamity first came up to us. She truly has a little pony, not a horse.
She does ride a pony a lot of the time, yeah.
Is
That's
this pony
adorable.
like constantly cantering to try to keep up with us? Like, is her
Sure,
pony
yeah.
exhausted by the end of the day?
Tiny
No,
little legs.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
It's not like a mini horse, you know.
Okay,
I don't
like
actually
a-
know what a pony is, but it's a smaller horse that
Wait,
is
this is a
reasonable
great
for
Hashtag
Calamity.
opportunity for
This is horseback.
A
horseback.
pony is a horse that's under 14 hands tall. That's
And a
what
hand
pony
is
That's not how you measure things.
4
Hold on.
inches. Is that what a hand is?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just a hand.
See, I thought ponies were a different species altogether from horses.
Well, what's a tiny horse?
A mini,
You know.
miniature
That's
horse.
like a mini horse.
Okay, so it's a pony. So it's
Okay.
a small horse that
Okay.
is more appropriate for a tiny
Okay.
person,
Noted.
Folks, you
but
don't
not
just come here
a,
for
not
the entertainment.
not a very little horse. It's not like little
Okay.
Sebastian sized. It's bigger
Okay,
than that.
I had to get a visual because I was like, how tiny are we talking here? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. I just had to sate my curiosity.
That's our horse fact for the episode.
There you go.
Yeah. Great.
All right. Well, you tell me if you have anything that you think needs to be enhanced, because I'm used to like a lot of projects and keeping my mind occupied at all times. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of spiral out of control when I don't have something to focus on. You know. So, anything you
well,
can come up with.
I don't know if this is something you can do, but
There's nothing I can't do.
well then. I'd just like to know if my friends are okay. And to let them know that I'm okay.
There might be one thing I can't do.
Alright. It's
No,
alright.
I'll actually, well, let me work on it. Let me workshop it for a little bit. All right, I'll see if
Okay.
there's something I can come up with to get a message to somebody.
Okay.
That's a good one, Kit. My mind will be occupied for a while. With that.
Alright.
Zagrin, riding on his horse, just like goes from towards the back of the caravan towards the front, and as he passes Essie and Kit, just looks up at the sky and says, "Bird!" and then just keeps.
Essie will, on reflex, like, quick draw, lights out, and then remembering that Kit doesn't want her to shoot any anymore, she'll put it back in her holster.
Mhm.
Right,
Kit's just
alright.
gonna give him like the eye as he goes by.
Yeah, he doesn't even stop or look back. He just keeps moving, not even noting their response.
She'll turn over to Kit and she'll say, I think we want to make a bet on if I can shave a bald spot with my bullet on his head.
I would
think I
like
could.
to see that.
Maybe not today. Maybe not when he's
Tomorrow.
riding a horse. If he's standing still, gotta start small.
That's true.
If he'd look pretty funny. with a
There's
bald
always
spot.
tomorrow.
All right, I'm too bored. I gotta start on this new project. Gotta
All right.
drop some schematics.
On the 5th day, Kit, you once again, you once again see that strange-looking bird observing you. So you see it loop over and land in a tree. Or actually, sorry, you pass a few stone, like just large stones, and you see this bird loop over and land on one of the large stones. And it is that same deformed and actually significantly larger bird, right?
The twisted features.
Hmm.
She'll make the signal.
So you could make me a little perception check if you can.
Missy's hand will go to lights out. She looks around.
It's bad. That's a 5.
Yeah. You're pretty sure it's that same weird bird.
Do I notice when she makes that noise? Do I notice it?
Well, if she points
I'm
it out
looking
to
at
you,
it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking
I'm
at
gonna
it.
take out my spyglass.
Yeah, you look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so it's probably 60 feet away. And as you look at it through the spyglass, it looks like a crow, like it's big, and you can see that it's got patches of missing feathers. It's got these big lumps on its neck. Its face looks a little bit like deformed. And as you look at it, it opens its mouth, and you can see what look like little teeth inside of its beak, and it caws.
You know what it's at the perfect range for? She'll be reaching back for a happy
And
ending.
it hops down behind the rocks.
That thing is cursed. Oh my gosh.
What do you think will happen if we follow it?
Kit will say, "Now this one, I fully support you shooting that one at."
Alright. Want to see something real fun?
Sure.
She'll just like smooch to Freya and she'll take off running, and she's gonna like go past the rock and be aiming her gun, her musket, and try to shoot it as they run past.
Yeah, so the thing has definitely taken off and it's in the air, but you can take a shot at it.
I'll take a
Absolutely.
shot. Yeah,
Right.
take a shot.
It'll be going fairly fast. So what's your short range on the rifle?
The short range is 40 to 120, I believe. Long range is 120. You'd think I'd know this by now. 1 second.
No problem. I actually have your character sheet right here,
Yes,
so I can always
it's
just look
40
instead
and
of asking.
120. So it'll be a
Yeah, okay.
disadvantage.
So yeah, beyond 40, you're going to be at disadvantage.
16 still.
16. Give me just a quick sec.
I like this very peaceful music as we're
As I'm
shooting this
murdering. Yes.
cursed bird.
Yeah, you hit it.
See how much damage I do.
Does it explode into a puff of?
Oh, terrible damage though. That is 6 points.
Probably has like
Yeah.
1 HP.
So you hit it, and you could see the thing like react to it, and it shakes, but it stabilizes and it just keeps going, and it starts going faster. And in fact, as you're watching it fly and it's in the air, it seems to disappear.
That is not natural. What is that?
God's breath, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure after Kit tells Soleus that things are watching, he would be keeping an eye on her. Do I notice any of this going on?
I think everybody sees that because
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
pretty
we're,
like
like-
Essie like charges out, has got her rifle, and then as she does, you see this bird fly away, and she's like aiming up, shoots it, and yeah, I think that's all really evident to everybody that's paying
It's
attention.
Yeah.
probably become known in the caravan as being like the crow killer.
I think Soleus is gonna
CK.
go up next to Kit and be like,
Uh, there are some who can see through the eyes of animals. If it is truly watching you, perhaps keeping a low profile would be best.
That's what I've heard. It's not right. There's something bad about it.
Indeed, you are being followed. Let them see. They clearly know that you know.
They do by now.
Let them watch. Set your trap.
What if they're so powerful that it's me that's going into the trap?
It is better to see your enemy face to face than to have them on your back, forever lurking in the shadows. We will help.
You'll help? But why? You don't owe us anything.
That is a question. You are right.
I don't want to put anyone in
But
danger.
fate is a funny thing.
I'd feel bad if I put someone else in danger. I don't even know who this is or what they're capable of or what they even want.
We are all in danger. This is part of it. This is part of being in the public eye. Worry not.
That's
Be
right.
weary, but worry not.
And he trots off. We're to Soleus. And I want to tell Soleus.
You are slaves.
Sorry, Zagran.
There's two of you.
Oh
Just
my
so-
god. It's all a
Yeah.
conspiracy.
He's basically saying,
Kit is being followed. Something watches her.
Do you know what it is?
I do not. But they are using magic.
Understood. Certainly, I will keep my eyes and ears to the ground, and I suppose to the sky. That may explain Essie's erratic behavior. Here, I thought that maybe she had obtained some sort of bloodlust from dealing with those children of malice and bursting off their kneecaps, but this seems more purposeful with this information in mind, that I'll keep my wits about me, and I believe that we should do what we can to assist them. After all, they have helped us, and as you know, I keep track of deaths.
That's right. We are becoming quite popular, our little caravan.
Yes, and after all, if they're the ones being watched rather than us, all the better for our purposes. But any sort of tale can't help us with our ultimate goal.
I do not believe the Luxon would set us up for a trap. I believe this is all part of it.
Your faith is inspiring, and I appreciate that. I agree. We're headed in the right direction, and perhaps even with the right people nearby.
I mean, I nod.
Dun 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 dun.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So that's today. The next couple days pass uneventfully. Kit keeping an eye out over the next week. So y'all are now a little over a week away from Eurosa, right? So there are now starting to be little hamlets and things as you go, once again, and y'all are a little over a week from Eurosa at this point. So the next couple days pass without issue. Looking out, you don't see that weird crow ever again, like that deformed creature. Like it just doesn't reappear.
It's scared. That's all right. Understandable.
Yeah, it does not reappear at all. You absolutely see that, like, at camp on occasion. Now, actually, after that night and most nights, at some point around the time that you go to camp, you do see that that very, like, that raven, right, again and again reappearing, right, looking at you.
Okay. She will just
You want to
try to stay
tell
hidden.
Essie?
Yeah, oh yeah, I will. I'll tell Essie, but I'll just tell her
I won't shoot it.
it wouldn't do any good anyway.
Right, here's what I'm thinking though, right? I don't know if you know much about wizards, but they need to use components every time they bring that creature back. And if I kill it enough times, they might not have the materials that they need to bring it back. So I'm just saying that the more times I kill it, I'm just using their resources. And resource management is key, so they might not be able to do it eventually. She'll just creep a hand down towards her pistol and she'll...
Does it hurt it? Is it a magical animal or is it real?
I think it's a fey creature most of the time, like a celestial creature.
But it's still alive?
They're fine, they just go back to their own realm. Resources.
Okay.
I'll just whip out, lights out, and shoot it. Or try to shoot it.
You try and shoot the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time you start getting ready, right? Like, so you see it that evening, right? And you start kind of getting ready, and again, you see that little puff of smoke as it just seems to pop out.
I might have to snipe it from here on out.
Kit will just start taking to, like, sitting in the shadows.
After that event, that, like, SE drawing on it, you don't see that thing again. So the next couple nights, like, so you saw it, then you mention it to Essie and she draws on it and it disappears, and then you're not seeing this thing again.
She'll still...
Yeah,
she'll still be, like, keeping to the shadows, pretty much just, like, always trying to stay hidden, always with her hood up. She's, like, pretty paranoid at this point, and probably not sleeping too well, probably very much on edge.
All right, so I'm thinking on how to make this disguise better, right? You know how there's so many tabaxi in this caravan? What if we sew you a tail?
Just the tail, like,
well, it
nothing
could stick
else.
out, and then it you have your cloak up, and if you had a tail, then maybe it would just think that you're one of the tabaxi and leave you alone.
Okay.
Yeah, want to try it out?
Try. They might.
I'll try to make her a tail.
They might think I'm a bit weird.
Just
generally, to be clear, I get the impression y'all are kind of icing Calamity out, right? Like, so you're not telling her about this, and you're not getting her to, like, do anything. Is that about right?
Being friendly, but I don't think we're involving her in this.
Yeah, trying to stay friendly, but not being super buddy-buddy.
Quick question for the DM. Does the Raven and Yantha exist at the same time?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Good question.
It's like you've never seen Yantha and myself in the same room. It's like Batman. You never know.
Yeah.
Right.
I also suppose that I think Soleil would try and take, like, watches at the same time as Kit to get as many lessons in as possible. I'm sure he'd clock her lack of sleep and whatnot.
Yeah, and Kit would definitely not be opposed to doing that.
Mhm.
The roadways are getting busier as you begin to travel. So over the next 4 days, the roadways are getting a fair bit busier as you travel. And like you see some folks passing the other way. There's the caravan, and there's now individual travelers also for smaller groups.
Mhm.
So we're now on the 4th day. So since this episode's begun, you've been traveling for 9 days.
Nice.
So you find yourselves again on the road. Boredom has been the thing. Like there was some excitement when Essie started shooting random birds. You know, we had about 4 days ago, we had the incident with the bird with teeth, which I'm excited that I've finally gotten to use that in a game.
Oh my gosh.
That is
Terrible.
cursed.
You're welcome. Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, thank you. So now today, right? Like you're traveling and it's been relatively uneventful. There are some there's some groups coming up. You pass a hamlet. You passed the hamlet yesterday, and the next significant town is going to be suburbs of Eurosa. So the next town you'll run into are essentially Eurosa suburbs. So you are almost there.
So did Essie make Kit the tail?
No, for sure.
Okay.
Essie is bored out of her mind right now. Like she's used to constantly keeping busy. She's also going to because she can do her magic tinkering and have like 4 objects that can make smells and things. So if she notices little factions within the kids, she's gonna give them basically whoopee cushions. Where
Nice.
they're like little objects that can make fart noises, and she'll be like, "All right, kids, all right. If you get somebody to sit on this without them noticing, it's gonna be real entertaining."
Yeah, people definitely get hit with these whoopee cushions, and like it's actually pretty fun traveling with this group, right? Like every night, someone's playing music. There's talking. Like there are things friendly. Like one of the guys actually has a still in his wagon, and is able to provide a little bit of booze.
Can I learn how to make and still alcohol from him on the journey?
Sure, yeah. It's one of the halflings. So specifically, it's the it is Bertrand Gamwich has a little still, and yeah.
I'll try to improve his still for him.
Sure. Yeah, you're able to work on that. But yeah, so it's like a good time, and like the kids are happy and fun. Like there's what are we looking at? We're at
I'm gonna try before I let these whoopee cushions just loose in the caravan.
10 kids in the caravan.
I'm gonna try to get Zagrin with one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Zagrin goes to sit down near the fire. Maybe it's relatively deserted area, people nearby but not there, and of course doesn't look when he sits down and he hears the noise and he jumps up and you see him extend his arm outward as if he's about to summon his weapon, and then realizes what happens and then quickly just looks around to see if he can
Essie's
find this
laughing her butt off to the
Mhm.
side. She'll be like, "Zagrin, we didn't have that many beans for lunch.
Kit
You
is
alright over there?"
Kit finds this hilarious as well.
Well
This is
played, Miss
payback
Pike.
for laughing.
Well played.
I don't know what
I-
you're talking about. I'm sorry that you're gassy, but boy,
Uh,
that sounds
I-
like a personal problem.
Perhaps the local cuisine might not be sitting well with me.
Yep.
And he'll look back down at his seat and kind of kick off whatever device was there and then sit back down.
I was going to say something, but
She'll just walk away laughing. What?
My most
Watch your
loyal
back,
friend.
Balin.
And looks to Dennis and just shakes his head, and he starts to chuckle to himself a bit.
I thought you could use a laugh.
Thank you, friend.
Alright, but that's it. She'll just bored out of her mind. She is causing a little mischief with the kids in the caravan, and
Yeah.
doing whatever she can to help make stuff a little bit better for people and tinker and
Yeah. There's lots of work to be done, right? Like the caravans could always use some maintenance work. Like you're able to be a really important part of it. And Brave Light and some others from the caravan, are really grateful to you. They're grateful to all of you, right? For the security, for the help, right? Like that was a scary thing that y'all went through with what happened at Parfell, right? And y'all were there to protect them, Calamity is definitely trying to be nice and like talk to y'all and isn't constantly acting strange and suspicious, but
but
You
now
know, like
the
she's-
seed of doubt is no, I'm kidding. I think Essie would be kind and nice to her. She doesn't want to. They're keeping that tight to the chest, essentially.
No problem. I'm not telling you what's what. That evening, you go and make camp. You go and make camp. We're actually gonna move to a little map so y'all can see.
Convenient
So you go to-
map.
Uh-oh.
Don't take
The
anything
map
from
comes
this.
out.
It's camp. So again,
Initiative.
you're now. Don't worry about that. I don't know why y'all would think something suspicious is happening.
I'm gonna need a visual on all the whoopee cushions.
So they're.
Oh, this is a great
yeah.
map.
Thank you. Yeah. So once again, you have a ring of caravans and some tents. Set up. There are a few fires, and yeah, you find yourself set up. Can we get the first and second watch from you two, or from this group? Who's going to do first watch and who's doing second watch?
I'll do first.
I'll do first as well.
Okay. And where do you want Calamity? On first watch, second watch, or are y'all not including her in your rotation?
Tell her to take the night off.
I don't think we would exclude her. I feel like we
No.
would include her. She could go with Dennis and me. Because we're just going to be working on our,
Sneaky.
sneaky stuff, so it might be good to have, another person on watch.
Essie
Okay.
at some point she'll drop down on the log next to wherever Zagrin is and just kind of lean her musket down and kind of look over at him, and she's like, "You're a good sport about that noisemaker."
It was rather amusing, I must admit, and
I thought so,
ingenious. I had never seen a creation like that.
That's what happens when I get bored. I just start making random stuff,
Yes, an idle mind can be one of the worst enemies we face out on the road.
It's terrible. I'm bored to tears. It's terrible. I need a project. Kit kind of put the ixnay on the project I was working on. I was
Hunting
working on a
birds.
device that, it could pinpoint birds in the area. Specifically, I was trying to do ravens and crows. They're real pretty, that's why. But she didn't want me killing anymore. So I have it half made. I haven't viewed any magic into it yet, but it's there if I want to finish it.
What is the nature of your magic, Miss Pike? I've seen some contraptions, but then I also saw, or didn't see, you at times.
Oh, yeah. You're wondering about the invisibility?
And the black
Specifically?
claw that you used.
Oh. Yeah, that's a new invention I've been working on. Then she'll kind of, all right, that's not the truth, and you were forthright with me. I don't know. Those two are different from my normal magics. I don't know why or when or how, but I can do some stuff I wasn't able to do not that long ago.
As you're talking, the wind picks up, and a storm begins to blow in a little bit.
I'll run over. I'm assuming one of the caravans has a little
There are awnings and
tent
things set
area
up. Yeah.
awnings, yeah. I'll run over to one.
It's not raining yet, but it's
I'm getting
coming.
ready.
Yeah, Zagrin will follow. Maybe not in quite as much of a hurry, but makes his way.
You'd understand if you had hair like mine.
It's true. Though what I do understand is new gifts and not quite understanding them. And he's gonna summon Liam Nor, and just kind of like very casually holding it in his hand.
How do you do that? You pulling that weapon from another dimension? Do you have it in a pocket dimension?
I don't question my friend here. We've been friends over multiple lifetimes. Where he goes when he's not at my side is anyone's guess.
Multiple lifetimes? What are you talking about?
Zagrin nods. It's maybe hard to explain to someone from the Empire, but
Like reincarnation?
essentially, the holy beacons. If one of my kind is lucky enough to be blessed by the Luxon and dies within 100 miles, we have another opportunity at this life, if you want to think of it like that. And in each of mine, I've been paired with my friend. And Liam Nor just kind of like rises up as it hears that it's being talked about. And just kind of like, almost like it's looking around, just kind of like panning and surveying. No eyes or anything on it, but it's just, it knows it's being talked about.
The ears are ringing.
Yeah.
And you've never questioned how you can pull a weapon out of thin air.
That's why we call it faith, Miss Pike.
I know the gods are real, but they haven't gifted me with anything. That all on my own.
Perhaps you should come into the light at some point and you would understand.
Yeah, I got a question about that. That's something I don't understand it. You seem to be all right in the sunshine, but your friend, he does everything possible to stay out of the light, and yet he worships it. How does that work? How can you worship something that hurts you?
It's a complicated relationship, to say the least. Perhaps not 101 material. And as for myself, and he's gonna lift his mask up about halfway and kind of like tap his tusk. He says, those seem to keep me okay in the sunlight. It's not comfortable, but not quite as painful as Dennis's experience being full drow.
You have a strange mistress that you worship.
Strange is one way. Glorious is another way to phrase it, but awe-inspiring, I think we would agree.
Well, I guess anything deadly enough is worth worshiping to some degree.
I could agree with that.
I'll leave the worship to you. I'm sure there's plenty, and she'll just kind of gesture towards him. Plenty for both of us there.
Understood.
I don't. Whatever you want to worship, that's fine with me. I don't have anything against it, of course. But you'll find that. Question for the DM is that expression that they do, like "May the light guide you" or something? Is that pretty like out of the ordinary in the Empire? Like, you do not say that. That's weird.
Absolutely, have never heard that before.
Just so that you know, I'm a little bit more traveled, a little more understanding of different cultures, but a lot of folks in the Empire, there's only a couple gods that are cleared for worship around these parts, and your god's not one of them, I can guarantee that. So I'd be careful when I was telling people to let the light bless them and all that. Just be careful with who you tell that to.
Can
Well
I
noted.
interrupt you both to get a perception check from each of you?
Elspeth Pike, you are so good at this. Yes, you are with everything. Let's be honest.
15.
13.
Okay. You don't notice anything.
Damn it.
Yeah. I just hate to have anyone shave any hair off of that head of yours. That isn't me.
Ruffs up his own hair. Well noted, and I will certainly take that advice. I appreciate your concern, genuinely.
Yeah.
Over your shift, the rain does start, and it gets heavy for a bit, but it peters out around the time of your shift change. And as you get ready to wake up the others, it is now a light drizzle.
My hair is my bangs are gonna be terrible tomorrow. Should just look up at the rain. You know, there might be more to worshiping the sun that I let on. I don't like the rain.
Yes, I agree. Underground is ideal, but this rain is for those forsaken birds, I suppose.
You're funny. I got a second question for you. Why worship the light if you'd prefer to live underground?
We have ways to interact with her grace. It's a complicated relationship, as I stated. And the light is not necessarily just the illuminating substance that allows us to see and allows plants to grow, but
Or metaphorical?
it's something beyond the mere sun.
Like I've come to see the light instead of like the sun.
Essentially, yes. Though the sun is a big part of it, if I'm being honest.
I'll mull that over. Does the light give you your magic?
I believe the light is a part of all things, including the gifts that are bestowed upon me, but more directly, my gifts come from Lirimnor here.
Your magical weapon that you can summon from the sky is what gives you your magic. Truthfully.
Sincerely.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that before.
I think you'll find all sorts of unique stories from the dynasty.
Well, I've been there once or twice. But not for quite some time now.
Well, once this war ends, perhaps we can get some more trade between the two nations and overall stop the petty squabbles.
It's always nice to have a little bit. You stagnate if you never have any other outside sources. You know, that's kind of the problem with the Empire right now. It needs a little bit more culture from other places.
Yes, so long, of course, as it's not stolen by force.
Well, we'll agree there.
All right, and we're
I'm
gonna.
glad we do.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, just I'm glad we do.
Mm-hmm.
So you wake up Kit and Seleus and Calamity. There we go. I know her name. And they're able to begin your shifts. Can everybody take a minute and place yourself on the map? So Kit and Seleus, we're gonna find a spot to camp or to whatever, one of the tents to be sleeping in.
Why would we need to do that, Jason?
No
Yes,
reason at all.
Jason.
I don't see why y'all are concerned.
That's our secret. We're always concerned.
Where are you camped? Where's our tent? As I go-
Those are
okay.
fine tents. So the yellow things are tents. The black things are wagons. Just
Okay,
so
so I
for
guess
those
this
who
is-
can't see it, there's a ring of wagons with some
Right
tents
on.
interspersed between them, with a few fires. Specifically, there are 3 fires laid out within this ring in the campsite.
Okay, so I'm in the tent, but are we?
If you're on
moving.
watch, you're probably not going to be in the
That
tent.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
So currently in the tent, but moving towards a fire. Probably, I don't know, should we take watch like at this fire? Like the one that's kind of outside the ring of.
Not in between these two fires right here?
Well, we could. I just don't know if we could see as well inside the ring. But I don't know. Paula has never done watch at a caravan, so
Just don't look directly into the campfire.
Yeah, so the answer is
Blinded.
like you wanna generally be on the lookout, but like it's a big ring, right? So you're more
Yeah.
just making sure that if something happens, you're ready to create the response.
Yeah,
Getting
come up
into
with
it, going out in the dark, like as a picket, right? Going out into the dark, staying in the dark and watching, right, is a much more effective way to keep watch, right? Somebody staying in the camp, if someone snuck past the pickets, they'd be able to see people as they come to the firelight. So it's a mix of things. And if you had more folks, you'd probably do it differently than if you only have a couple.
okay. So I guess we're here, in between these two fires.
Yes.
Okay. Or of course y'all can go off into the dark and practice skulking.
Well, if skulking is better done in the dark,
We
then
can practice right here.
maybe we split up and we leave Calamity like where we are currently, and then we kind of move off.
Vanish into the darkness.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is this lesson is about just not being in the dark.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's about being lightly obstructed.
Lightly obstructed.
Yes. So, like, using something like a barrel or a bale of hay or even
Or
a
a
cow
Zagrin.
or a Zagrin.
I seem to recall, yeah.
Yes, it's one of the lessons.
So Kit she's not relaxed. Like, she's on high alert. She is trying to focus in the lesson, but she's super distracted. Like, jumping at every shadow. Like, just the stress of the last several days has gotten to her. This is not normally. She's usually like very laid back and very chill, and she's been trying to hide her nervousness, but it's wearing on her.
Perhaps
So.
we'll save the lesson for another time. Let's take it easy this evening.
Sorry, a bit on edge.
It is all right. This is normal when one is being followed.
All right. So can I get a quick perception check? So about halfway through your shift, can I get a perception check? So with Calamity helping, you can each roll with advantage.
I'm very glad I had advantage because I rolled a natural 1 and a 17. So with the 17, that's a dirty 20.
I got an 18.
Nice. So
Perhaps
you
we should
both
just sit around and listen.
see. It's hard to see, but coming in from the dark, off to on your left. Give me just one sec. You see a couple figures emerge. Like, you see them before they get to the firelight, but there is a dwarven man wearing a heavy apron, and he's got his hand down by his side, and it looks like it's hidden a little bit by the apron. And as you see him, your eyes make contact, and he grins really broadly, and we're gonna go on break.
No! Oh, come on.
Jason!
Oh, come
We'll see you
on.
folks in 10 minutes.
Why
So
do you do
really appreciate your time, and we'll be right back to see what's happening after the break. Okay. Okay, and we are back looking at it. Audio's there, so everyone should be able to hear everybody.
Testing.
Thank you, folks. Really appreciate y'all hanging out through the break. When last we left, well, actually, let me stop and go back. So first off, we want to thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. You can find this show, Best Left Buried, by Heroes Die, every Saturday from 1 to 4 Central Time here on Twitch, and you can find it all the rest of the time on YouTube. Twitch/Heroes Die Show, YouTube @Heroes Die Show, and social media and stuff, which you can find links down there somewhere. Maybe that way, somewhere in the box. If you're watching and you're enjoying it, we would love it if you press the little follow button. It gets you notified when we go live, and it's a good way for us to understand, what folks like and don't like. If you get a chance, also join our Discord. We'd love to hear from you and just get a sense of, just to interact about the show. Because I could talk about it quite literally all day if given the chance. With that, let's resume. So this episode has been really interesting, but also somewhat, not a ton's happening. So we've been traveling this whole time, and there's been a lot of stuff going on during the travel. So our cast are getting to know each other, or our characters are getting to know each other. They're building some bonds. There's some very heavy paranoia undertones as, the various folks, right? Where we started with Essie and Kit, and then Zagrid and Leia started together, and they all have their own internal bonds, and there's been a little bit of group bonding occurring as well past that. And we saw, I think, a lot of that this episode. We are currently in a situation where the group has camped down for the night, and there was a little bit of rain. In fact, the ground's even a little bit soft and squishy and muddy right now, although the rain is cleared off at this point, and you've got clear but very dark skies up above. As Soleus, Kit, and Calamity, your NPC friend, have been keeping watch, a group of figures is beginning to move in from the darkness. Kit and Soleus, you can see this to the left here. You can see a dwarven man. He has an apron, and he has a hat on. He has an apron and he has a hat on, like one of those. Actually, Kit, a hat not dissimilar to your own. That kind of flat brim style cap, and two figures in the darkness behind him. Soleus, you also notice in the darkness past two of the wagons, there's another figure. Looks to be walking up towards the firelight, not far from Calamity. Not far from Calamity.
Okay.
As you make eye contact, you see this figure smile, and as they smile, even in the darkness, you can see that there's a number of missing teeth in their face, or in his face. And he begins walking into the firelight. Big smile on his face, and you hear his voice call out, "Hail, strangers!" Sorry, hold on. Hail, strangers! Well met.
Soleus is going to step forward and say, "Greetings, friend. Pull up a log by the fire. You must be tired."
Kit's grabbing her crossbow.
Yeah, he'll look at you.
As he walks up, you see that figure near the top of the camp, walking up. You also see another one appear between two of the wagons. There, it's starting to feel a little bit like you're surrounded.
Is he saying anything to me when I address him?
Yes. So this guy is. So he's got an apron. The figures behind him, they also have aprons. so this guy's got like a leather apron. The
I
other
don't like it.
two have workers' clothes and white aprons, very similar to what a barber would wear.
Yeah, they're barbers.
And there's actually you can
barber.
I think
see
he's a haircut.
you can see for all of them as they get into the firelight, you can see that there is a fair bit of blood on their aprons.
I knew it.
Looks fairly dry, and he goes, I am tired. I've been searching and traveling for a few weeks now, but I feel like I've about found what I'm looking for.
By the way, just like as soon as they're walking up and Kit is grabbing her crossbow, she's gonna make the signal. Whistle, dog bark, whatever it is.
Yeah.
She's gonna make the signal.
I mean, Essie is a light sleeper, and she's pretty used to being on the road.
Okay.
But I'll leave that up to you if she would wake up.
So let's get for Zagrin and Essie. Let's each of you roll me a d20. Not unmodified. If you get upwards of 12, you will wake up already at
18.
this.
15.
Nice.
Okay. So you start to wake up. So you start to hear some talking outside, and you hear that little bark or whistle. I think we could just do a whistle. But yeah.
Otherwise, it's like Kit is trying to out crazy the guy in the apron. Like he comes up all creepy, and then she just starts barking back
Hey,
at him. Like,
it can
Gotta do
work.
what you gotta do.
You see Yantha lift up from Calamity's shoulder and fly into Essie's tent.
Interesting.
I'll have heard that whistle, and
As you're
immediately,
waking up, the tent opens and Yantha pops in, and she's about to bite you awake.
Yeah, but Essie will just literally, and I mean Kit for sure has seen this in the past where she wakes up immediately ready for combat, and so she'll
Sure.
just grab her
great.
musket and put it slightly out to just kind of.
Yeah, so you see this
look
scene,
out.
and again you hear this strangely high-pitched voice. So this dwarf is very muscled. As you look at him, you can see his face now. He's coming in the firelight. He's got fairly dark skin with really pale patches. He's got a heavy case of that vitiligo going. And
Can I very quietly assemble my force ballista?
you can begin. Sure, you'll be ready by the time. Imagine this is going to go badly, which
No, come
obviously
on.
it's not likely, but it's possible.
You could totally talk our way out of this.
You'll be totally
ready.
ready. Don't stress it. Yeah. His beard is very well braided and oiled. And he's wearing, like I said, he's wearing that leather apron. It looks like he's wearing some leather armor underneath. He goes,
Are you
I
here
think-
for the cows?
he goes, I'm not, friend. I'm here because one of you. And he reaches up his hand, and in it he's got this huge friggin' cleaver. He goes, one of you has something that I'm looking for.
Oh, what would that be, actually?
As I'm activating my tattoo, which he can't see.
Kit
really.
is taking slow steps backward at this point.
Do
And
these people have collars on?
Well, so you can't see that because you can only see a little bit from a distance.
Okay.
Yeah, give me can I make a little perception?
Absolutely.
So Kit
Yeah.
is slowly stepping backwards, and she's got her hand on her crossbow,
15.
and she's trying to just put some distance.
Now it doesn't look like they're wearing a costume. So go ahead and move yourself. But you do see some of these figures are spreading out a little bit, and one of them, this guy, is moving here in between some of the tents, or the tent in one of the wagons, right? And this tent is the one that has that human family. So the half orc man, the human woman, and the older human man looks to be the father of one of them.
If there's any aggressive action whatsoever, I'm going to shoot whoever.
So he's holding his cleaver up,
He's holding a
and
big
he's doing
cleaver.
this, but he hasn't gotten super threatening, and he's still a good distance away from any of you. But he
He's wearing
does
a
take a
leather
step forward.
apron and he's holding a cleaver.
As you look, Selaeus, this guy here, you see he's got an apron, and he's holding a pair of straight razors.
Barry the Butcher. Oh, man.
A pair of straight razors. He goes, "Now, one of you is from the city of Zadash, am I right?"
Oh, yes. I believe that would be that person right there.
And I
And who do you
point
point at?
past him. Like behind him.
He turns and looks, and he goes
I
back.
attack.
Okay. Yeah.
You've got something
Behind
on your
ya.
shirt, or there's someone behind you. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic.
Let's get some initiatives.
Is that considered a surprise?
No. No, unfortunately, combat is a little too obvious here.
Oh,
Why do
baby.
3s and 8s look so similar on dice?
23. Good
Nice.
luck, you jerks.
What's that behind you?
All right, guys. So, yeah, as combat breaks out here, Zagrin, you're gonna go first. Oh no, I think this guy goes first. No, yeah, Zagrin, you're going first.
Wait, I got a 23.
Oh, you got 23. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have everybody on. Jeez, guys, I'm like way out of it. Bad DM. All right, we have a 23 from Selaeus. Didn't do anything. 23. There we go. We have Zagrin at 20. We have Calamity. Calamity with a 9. Okay. We have Kit. What'd you get?
14.
And Essie, what'd we get?
17.
Okay. All right, Selaeus, you're up.
As he turns around,
Mhm.
a inky black shadow is going to appear around me. And I cast darkness on myself and run into about here.
Oh, man.
Actually, you know what? I'll run past.
Good luck seeing, you jerks.
I'll go here, past them.
Okay, so you've cast darkness on yourself, which I believe is a 15-foot or 20-foot radius darkness.
I believe it is a true give me a moment.
All right.
Sorry,
They
it's
can
a.
still find you if you're humming your theme song.
Yeah, you have to stop humming your theme song if you're trying to be stealthy.
Yeah, it's a 15-foot sphere around me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna do that. Yeah. No, that's a good spot. And I guess I don't get an attack on this guy, do I? Oh,
If
I
you're
could.
casting darkness, I believe that's an action.
That's an action, a move. I can actually burn a key point and do 2 unarmed strikes, which I will do. Let me just burn my key point right here.
Go on, one-man army.
Sir, for flurry of blows, is that what you're gonna do?
Yes.
So you have to take an attack action on your turn in order to do that.
Which I believe I can do, right? If it's an unarmed attack, I could get an extra.
Yeah, but you have to make an attack action in order to use flurry of blows to get 2 extra attacks as a bonus action.
Oh, that's so sad.
Okay, but if I do an unarmed strike, I could theoretically get my second attack, right?
But
You have to. Your action was used up to cast the darkness spell.
Okay, and then move. All right, yeah. So I'll do that. I'll just cast darkness, and
Okay.
yeah, stand.
So
right
you
next
see
to the
this
guy.
actually. So the guy standing there, you see him take the cleaver, and he drags it along his forearm, and he flicks the blood out in a
What?
spray, and where the
What?
little droplets land, you see these things begin to like you see the blood boil on the ground, the little droplets of blood boil on the ground, and these figures begin to crawl out, almost as if it rips a little hole, and then this whole horrible fleshy creature begins to emerge.
Excuse me, what?
Other little demony things.
And these
Oh my god.
these terrible creatures rise out of the ground in the midst of your space. They're wailing. They're wailing as they begin to rip their way into existence, and their eyes, maddened, begin to look around at the group. So he does that, and he flings the blood. He flings the blood, and then he coughs violently. And he hacks this terrible like glob of spit out, and where that glob of spit lands, another
Oh my god.
thing begins to grow out of the ground. This thing, and it's actually not, or behind you there, Kit, and it looks like it's this deformed monstrosity. And with that, let's actually change our music, because we don't need dread anymore. We need some havoc.
Oh my god.
Is it the
Sexual
same?
evolution.
The same? Wait, all of them spit and hack, or this one guy
No, just
spit
the one
across
guy.
the entire
Yeah.
camp and landed there?
Yeah. All right. Fine. We'll put it here. It was a good spit. Okay.
That was a very good
Us,
spit.
Ro, da.
Yeah,
It's
that spit would have been a 75-foot spit.
okay. Okay. I may have placed them there before I knew when it was going to go off.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't get any.
We just
All right.
don't cut you any slack, Jason.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's the poetic license, folks? So
Only get a little bit.
this thing comes out, and you can see like it's got empty eye sockets and yet eyeballs on its shoulders and arms, a mouth on one hand, and it is friggin' gross. It is friggin' gross. So that's what he does, and then he steps forward out of the darkness. And so 1, 2. Closes with Calamity, and he's got his hatchet, and he's reaching out to grab her, and you hear him say, give me what I want, and not all of you have to die. The girl from Zadash. The little street girl, give her to me.
Oh, that's what he said, eh?
Zachary, you're up.
So would there have been enough time between when Zagrin woke up versus when it was the look behind you gag for me to have at least grabbed my shield?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Everyone,
I'll say
because you woke up when this conversation starts. When
Right,
this
there
conversation
was-
started happening, it had a menacing aura right out the gate.
Right. Okay. So would I don't know, would I have had enough time to put on my chain shirt as well? Like, would I have?
How long does it take you to put on the chain shirt?
I think it's an action, if I recall. I'll double check.
Yeah. So if it's like the 10-minute don and doffing, no.
Okay. Just for the sake of
if
this,
it's-
and Zachrin being startled, I'll say he wouldn't have put on his armor. Maybe grabbed his shield, peeks out, and sees people, like before he's, even knowing exactly what's going on. So for his turn, I'll summon Liramnor as my action. I'm gonna run out as I'm summoning the flail, approach the darkness, but not stand in the darkness. It was 15 feet, radiating from Soleus. 15 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll target the. Is it a globule? Whatever.
Yeah, so it's this mound of flesh with arms, but it almost looks like it's melting. It's screaming and crying, and you can see slobber running down its mouth.
God.
So
Yeah.
Zagrin will, with Liramnor in his hand, kind of fling Liramnor out, and that purple smoke is going to go and surround the mound of flesh as he casts Hex. And I'll give disadvantage to Strength.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. So this one is hexed. Great. Okay. Cool. Essie, you're up.
Yeah, Essie is just gonna, or I'm going to step out of the tent just a moment, and it's almost like she's just got her musket up, and she is going to immediately fire a shot at this guy right kind of in front of her, this globule of flesh, and that is a 19 to hit.
A 19 to hit hits. Yeah. These things are not deft or swift. Like they're very easy for you to hit.
13 points of piercing damage.
Your shot pierces it. Sprays blood in an arc that actually splashes over Calamity and that butcher. But it just as your shot rips through it, it just deflates and goes flat, and you just have this like sack of loose flesh laying there on the ground, all the bones gone.
And almost like as it explodes, she is actually just like centering a shot through the blood and gore, and she's gonna fire her eldritch cannon like through his disgusting mass to hit the guy next to Calamity.
Okay, great.
That is a 17 to hit.
Yeah, 17 hits.
Sweet.
Crush them.
So that is 9 points of force damage to this man, and he has pushed 5 feet away from Calamity. I'm just gonna say, Calamity, run! And then she is going to just enter a little bit further into the fray.
How much damage was it?
It was 9 points of force damage.
Okay, got it.
It's just, and she's gonna just ready herself. That's the end of her turn.
Okay, great. Then we find ourselves, and this isn't dramatic enough music. Sorry about that, guys.
He doesn't want us to feel secure.
Yeah.
Heart's pumping.
Okay. this horrible little creature that came up from the phlegm bubble. It begins moving towards you, Kit, with a purpose. Begins moving towards you with a purpose, and it reaches its arm out, and the slavering maw on the arm tries to bite you.
Don't like that.
Tries to bite you, but as it moves forward, it slides and slips, and its bite just misses you entirely. Like it goes straight back. So that wet ground, it loses its footing on it and seems unable to bite you. But it's closed with you, and this thing is friggin' off-putting, and it's gross. Like it has got like pustules all over it and blisters that are oozing. This thing looks absolutely atrocious. You can see some of these like warts or whatever like pulsing.
Oh, gross.
Pulsing warts.
You thought we looked weird.
I did not need that.
I mean, you do.
phrase
That's
in my
You're welcome.
vocabulary,
that's
but-
still.
All right, Kit. Speaking of it, your go.
Okay, so Kit is terrified. This is like her worst nightmare that she's been terrified of for the last several days is happening. She's going to disengage from this creature, and she's just kind of like stumbling backwards, like slipping on the muddy ground and looking wildly around for cover. She's gonna run over to this tent here and just kind of
So that's one of the wagons. Yep.
okay, this wagon, sorry. And she's just gonna kind of flatten her body up against it, and if there's any space underneath the wagon, like
There is, absolutely.
she's gonna try to like scramble, like she's just frantic, she's panicked. And as she gets underneath the wagon, she's just shaking and making her body like as flat as possible. And she closes her eyes, and like there's the sounds of the fight going on, and these horrible creatures making these noises, and all of that just kind of starts to fade, and she's just hearing like her heartbeat just like pounding, and that's all she hears. And yeah, she's just trying to make herself as small as possible, and that's her turn.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, great. There's a cry, almost like the sound of a bird, but a large bird, and this creature flaps in and lands on top of one of the caravans. Its large wings on its back, spikes growing out of it, and it's holding a trident, and it lands, and it's looking down, its piercing eyes at the scene down below. At the scene down below, and it
How
begins.
big is this?
It's probably about 5 feet tall.
What
Probably
the
about
fuck?
5 feet tall.
Oh my
And,
god. What?
And yeah, it flicks its tail. And Essie, this little dart shoots out towards you. 17.
Shield reaction. She just like suddenly her bracer starts to like just fluctuate with energy, and she like tings it to the side. You're gonna have to do better than
This
that.
spike shoots down from its tail, and it crashes against your shield, and you can see it burn away hotly as it hits your shield. It almost lights and burns up, and it just sits there, and does nothing. Yep. Nothing else anyway.
Oh my god, there's a lot of things around here.
All right,
Do you have
Calamity.
fireball?
Calamity looks around. Calamity looks around, and she looks around and she begins crafting a spell. She begins crafting a spell, and she attacks it. A little bolt of shifting energy shoots out and doesn't hit. Let's see, what is this?
Come on, Calamity.
12. Yeah, shoots out and skims right past the that dwarf, and it swims past him, and then she turns and almost immediately shoots her hand out, and out of it a little bolt of fire goes flying. And Yantha flies in and flies past this guy, and as Yantha distracts him, this little bolt of fire hits into him. And like his apron like catches fire as it burns a hole right through it. And Yantha has just come in. And is right there at this guy's face, flying around and trying to distract him.
Oh, little Yantha.
Yep. All right. And then Calamity is going to step back towards the fire. All right. So out of the darkness, a bunch of figures begin. You see now that there have been more figures out there. You hear one of the caravans open as one of these figures seems to step into one of the caravans, and you can hear some noise from within. The figure in the back here goes into one of the tents, and you can immediately hear screaming as people are pulled awake. And yeah, you can immediately hear screaming as people are pulled awake, and some things begin to happen. Now, folks come out of the darkness. Some of them with cleavers, some of them with leather aprons and cleavers, some of them with the white aprons and these pocket whatever they are, straight razors, begin rushing out, charging out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
These guys are terrifying, but so cool.
3, 4, 5. All right. So one of them is with you in the dark. You can see him stumbling around blindly, Saleus, but he's still going to make a couple. Swings at you.
A disadvantage?
Yes, absolutely. Or he's going to make a swing at you. 16.
Unfortunately not.
Okay, or fortunately in your case. And let's see, one is going to attack Calamity. One's going to attack Calamity. One's going to attack Calamity. As this thing comes in, you see a shield go up as Calamity blocks this knife from slashing at her. One of them attacks you, Essie.
My AC is now 22.
Yep. Oh, it's a 22. It's 22. You take 3 slashing damage as this straight razor cuts across your arm, opening a vicious little gash. This guy's got like really well done facial hair, like the most like top hipster mustache with a curl, and he slashes at
villains.
you.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to rip it off next
Mhm.
next round.
Yeah. Okay, and that's them. And then these terrible little crying things, or screaming things, they begin moving. Let's see. Yeah, they begin moving. This guy slowly crawls down, and you can see like the act of moving seems to hurt them. But he begins moving down towards Calamity. This guy moves towards you, Zagran. This guy moves towards you, and I guess that's all of them. Okay, so one of them is going to attack Zagran. So that is a 9. One of them is going to attack Calamity. Ooh, and that is a hit. So one of them reaches out and just clocks Calamity. So as she blocks her shield, as she has her shield to block the cleaver of this first guy, the other creature slips in past their guard and just punches her right in the back of the head, and she stumbles. She stumbles as she gets hit. And one of them attacks you, Essie. That is a miss. So it bounces off your shield. All right.
I'd like to think that the shield actually comes off of like the musket, and she's just like parrying their blows of the shield and musket.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Seleus. So top of the round, right? Let's go back. What you've had here is combat started as Seleus absolutely jumped this guy, right? Seleus enveloped himself in darkness and surrounded some of the foes. And then these cultists, as the thing got started, one of the leader, this dwarf, seemed to somehow pull a whole patch of demons out of his own friggin' body and let them loose within your camp, or horrible little creatures, whatever they are. And he made very clear that he just needs that little street girl from Zadash.
All right.
And at the same time, some of these cultists, so these folks have attacked, and these little demons have come loose. And some of the cultists seem to have gone into the tents and caravans, and you could hear screams as something begins happening to the people there in the camp.
Right. All right, Seleus is going to run.
So you got one in front of you right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave him there.
Okay.
I'm gonna run here.
You're not even important.
So he is going to make an attack on you as you run away,
But he can't see
and he
me.
misses. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna strike at the dwarf.
Okay.
Yeah, lock him down.
So I get advantage. That's a nat 20.
Oh, Caleb, good 20.
And so I'm gonna give him a
Come on, one-man army. Let's go.
D8. This is a D8 plus. What is doubled, by the way?
You roll your damage dice twice.
Okay. This is a D8 plus 5. Could be better. 5, 6, 7, 8 plus another 5. 13. That's
13 damage.
but twice.
Huh?
So I rolled a D8 plus 5 plus another D6 for the claws.
Okay, so 13 damage. Why would it be twice? I'm sorry.
What do I roll twice? My damage.
You just roll your
dice?
damage dice twice. So all of your
Okay.
damage dice you roll twice.
Plus 13. I'm gonna keep going. 13,
Good.
16. 17, 21.
Holy frick.
All right, so you lash out with your fists. Is that right? Is that what we're doing?
Quarterstaff.
So you lash out with your quarterstaff, and that wave of shadow comes off it, right, and begins clobbering this guy. So you hit him, and it's solid, and it takes him. How do you want to describe killing this guy?
I just want to.
Let's go.
Actually, no one knows, because I'm gonna move again.
He's like in the night.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move. The shadow's gonna envelop him. You're gonna hear, and then the shadow's gonna go back. I'm just gonna be standing there with like.
There's just a corpse there. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm gonna come back here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna
So you can hear some screaming in the tent just to your left, Slayus.
So can I get in there?
You could. So it's tent flaps. So you can just step through the tent flaps.
He went in through the back though, so the tent
Yes.
flap is in the back.
Two sides, back and front.
Oh, okay.
Protect the
No, I have to get rid of this guy in front of me. Nope. I have one thing to protect only.
Aw.
And I'm gonna use a my double swing there.
Your key
My
point to do
flurry.
your flurry of blows.
A flurry of blows. I'm gonna try and hit this guy in front of me, not the one that
Okay.
Zagran's fighting.
Okay.
Fifteen, 16.
16 hits.
All right. That's one. So D8. That's a 6 plus 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 17 damage to this dude.
Yeah, so your shadow fist lashes out and just snaps this guy's head back so far his neck seems to just snap and he goes down.
Yeah, and I have one more
Oh my God.
melee attack.
Slayus is just like a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, you're damn right. Sorry, I can move over one more. And you swing at this guy who's been hexed. 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19. 5, 6, 7, 12 total.
19 to hit and 12 damage.
Yes.
Okay. The thing in front of Slayus, like it takes the punches, you can see almost immediately bruises begin to form under its like loose flesh, but it's
I don't
still
like
up
it at all.
and it's ready to go.
Those things could take some damage.
All right. Is that it?
Yep.
Zagrin, you're up. Essie, you're in the pipe.
I got a plan.
Glad to see you, friend, as the darkness just moves towards him and he hears the collision with the creature in front of him. He takes Liamnor and he's going to like thrust it up into the air, and a blue smoke is going to rain down on Zagrin, and I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I think you can handle it from here
Sorry to
And-
wake you, my lord.
anytime. And Zagrin's going to move here. So he'll
Nice.
provoke an attack of opportunity
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
disadvantage.
Yep.
I dare you to hit me with my Armor of Agathis.
That
also
is
the dark
hilarious. It does hit you, in fact, and you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, so I'm still up 2 hit points, and it takes 10 frost damage.
Yeah.
10 frost damage. Excellent. As it
Nice.
hits you, the thing connects and its fist like freezes and breaks apart, and you see the whole thing begin to shatter and fall to pieces.
Nice.
And that's my turn.
Okay, great. Essie, it's your go.
Seeing Kit flee, she's just going to say, like, she's going to yell out, she's going to say, Kit, we can't run from this. And then she's just like, this shadow again, she'll allow, like, her musket will go into her left hand, and her hand will reach out, and that swirling darkness will come down her arm, and she's going to cast Inflict Wounds at the guy in front of her.
Nice.
That is going to be an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Where's my D10s? Where are they? Whoa. Okay. 25 points of necrotic damage.
Oh,
I
that's
rolled
your-
2 8s and a 9 again.
As your shadow hand reaches out and touches this guy, you can see he begins to scream, but it's wordlessly cut off almost immediately as his breath draws out. You see his hair, the fine black hair of his curled mustache, turn white visibly, his cheeks sink, and he falls down, a husk, dried out and empty, dead in front of you.
As her arms swipe down, she definitely scraped the mustache off. and then she is going to, this thing that shot its barb at her, she is going to just whip up her musket again, and the little force ballista is gonna at the winged flying creature.
It's not flying, to be clear, it's landed, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 7. Not great. 15.
15. That's a hit.
Oh, nice, awesome. Okay, 7 points of force damage, and it's pushed 5 feet back.
Nice. It launches into the air as it gets flung back.
And then there's this moment where she looks at Kit, where Kit is, and she looks at the screaming people and back and forth for a moment, and then she's just gonna take off and run towards Calamity, and just kind of back to back with her for a moment as she's still within, trying to get to the screaming people, but also keeping an eye on where Kit went. And that's the end of her turn.
Okay. Okay, great. So, Kit, you're up next. This horrible monster that was trying to eat Kit, it turns, and you can see it doesn't turn to face you, but instead, like, its features almost shift to be facing out the other side of its body, and it begins stumbling towards you. It reaches out at you, and it tries now, as its hand wraps around to the side, it tries to bite you. It tries to bite you on your neck, and it's foul breath. You can smell it as it comes in.
I don't like that.
That's a 12.
Nope. She just like ducks up, and the butt of her musket will just like clock it in the jaw as she just readies herself.
Kit, as you lay there, it's your turn. As you lay there underneath the wagon, you feel that fear and that terror that's been manifesting as this happens, and you begin to feel a profound sense of cold and calm begin to seep through as your emotions almost drain out of you, and you can feel yourself moving into the shadow, and the shadow almost wraps around you and embraces you, and you can see you are now cloaked in some kind of blanket of shadows that has rendered you fully invisible.
Good. She's starting to believe.
Nice. Okay.
Kit.
So, as this calm coldness kind of envelops me. I'm sorry, there's like a loud noise outside. I don't know if you can hear it. This calm coldness envelops me, I'm going to kind of come back into the present and hear like the screams and everything that's going on. And I heard Essie's voice through all of that, and I'm going to just crawl out in the mud like from underneath the wagon. And I'm looking around, and the first thing I see is this creature that's attacking my friend. So I'm going to take a shot at this guy right here.
Okay. Roll with advantage as you're invisible.
Perfect. No, I don't think that's gonna hit. That is a 11.
11 does not hit. So you see, Essie, you see Kit, as you're looking behind you, you see Kit just appear standing out of nowhere, a bolt flying from her and whizzing just past this thing's neck behind you and over through the fire.
She's here.
Anything else
She's
for you,
ready.
Kit? I'm not hearing you for some reason.
I was muted. I am going to so I use my action to attack, but I will use my movement and my bonus action to dash and to get, let's see how far I can get. Right here. Moving towards this, where I heard the screams coming from.
Yeah. Now, to be
this
clear, you're
type-
enveloped in total darkness as you get close to Slayus. Like, it is absolute pitch darkness. The ground is wet and slippery as you're moving through, but you can
Where does
absolutely get over there.
Darkness start.
It starts about 15 feet away from Slayus. So right there.
15. If I stop there, I'm out of the darkness there, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'll stop right at the edge of the darkness, and I won't go into it, and I will just wait there, I guess.
Okay. This creature flies down. That flying creature flies down, and it swings over Calamity, and it bites at her as it goes. Its teeth trying to rake into her. Unfortunately, as it goes to bite, Calamity is just ducking, getting ready to do her spell, and it just grabs empty air as it flies by. It then swings past and turns Essie, and as it turns, it sticks this pronged, trident-looking thing, or fork maybe looking thing, and tries to stab at you. That is a 22.
Yep, it hits.
You take 4 piercing damage, and the thing flies up 15 feet into the air over you, and just laughs and begins speaking a language that. What languages do you speak? Well, hold on, I know this. Speaking a language that you don't understand. Okay, that's them. Calamity ducks down, turns, spreads her hands, and as she does so, this wave of fire reaches out from her and envelops the two creatures or the monster and the person just past there. Okay. It burns them both fairly badly, but they are both still alive. Okay. There is some more commotion. Wrong one. There's some more commotion from inside the tents. there's some more commotion from inside the tents, and some very loud screaming. Some very loud screaming. Some very loud screaming. And you, yeah. There's some loud screaming. This guy is going to, the other cultist, or the other person in front of Calamity, slices out, and she's able to dodge out of the way, and that's it for them. Okay. Of the little fleshy monsters, there seems to only be the one left, and it punches at Calamity, and it also misses. And that's it. So last round. So let's just do a quick recap again. Soleus was once again the ball of shadowy death that he seems to always be, and he took down this dwarf that was talking to you and doing whatever it was doing. And a number of the fanatics, or the number of these cultists, or these attackers, these barbers and butchers, were killed. Barbers and butchers. That's what they seem to be. They seem to all be barbers or butchers, right? So they either have cleavers or they've got little straight razors, and they're all wearing aprons. They're dirty. They're almost all blood covered. Have paid the price for that. Calamity, Essie, and Kit were all kind of getting into it. Kit had, a moment where, very afraid. She somehow found a calmness within her that she didn't have before, came out and, got back into the fight. And these demons are attacking pretty heavily. So we find ourselves getting ready to start with Soleus. Unfortunately, folks, that is time. We are, we actually went a little long tonight to kind of keep going with this fight. Oh, sorry, one last thing. There looks like something bad has happened, or it sounds like you hear the like a scream, like people are being attacked or killed within some of these caravans or tents, and there is clearly something happening where some of these folks, these barbers and butchers, have made their way into the caravan, like the sleeping quarters of the other folks in your caravan.
Their barber shops weren't up to code and they got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on here.
And with that, we're going to wrap for the night. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
Yes.
I know I have.
That's amazing.
I have tremendously.
It was really good.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all so much. And we'll catch you next Saturday.
Yeah.
Same bat time, same bat channel, from 1 to 4 Central Time. Have a great night, everybody.
Ciao.
Bye.